Hi and welcome. And joining me today for a little chat is our very own female in the fleet, Lisa. I've been
Hi, David.
hello. How's Yorkshire this afternoon?
Absolutely beautiful today. It's beautiful always, but it's even more beautiful in the sun.
Oh, Yorkshire is just my favourite place, especially the part you're in, sort of North Yorkshire, but we stay not too far away from some wonderful places. Woodby, Scarborough.
We are, yeah, very lucky.
Beautiful. Right, so recently been doing some little chats with people that are already part of Take Me Group, especially for those who are in the pipeline to join us and for those who are taking the right Take Me. Lisa has been with us for just over a year. She runs, or her family runs a business in Malton in North Yorkshire, which stands out from Malton. It's very rural, so it's different from the surrounding areas. So you joined us last year. How's the experience been so far, Lisa?
It's been a roller coaster, but a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And first of all, have we paid you on time? Did we pay you?
You certainly have, yeah.
Okay, so that bit's over.
I wouldn't still be here if
Obviously, when your partner John, who sort of retired and wanted to do other things in life, you thoroughly really enjoyed it. So you've stayed on board for the journey with us.
have you?
You've been an invaluable member of our team, not obviously doing what you do there in Yorkshire, but helping everyone else around the country, advising. You're quite active within the trade anyway, and some of these WhatsApp groups, putting your few pennies worth in and advising and sharing information. So you've always been used to being part of a network, I think, but you probably, how have you found actually being part of a network?
Well, actually, I was discussing this with John the other night, and I said it's funny because now I'm getting WhatsApps and messages off people, and it's like, yeah, can we help you with this? Oh, by the way, can we show to David or John? You seem to have a lot more clout when you've got a team like we've got behind us with the sheer size of the company, but not just that, the fact that the passion that everybody has in the company for taxiing. I ring somebody now and I mention where I'm from, and 90% of the time, if they're in the trade, they've heard of us, they know who we are, and I get a much smoother reception through to management.
Yeah, it does help with dispatch systems as well. We've noticed being part of a group when we want to get changes made and so on. And obviously buying power as well. We've got some great IT experience. We've got some great recruitment experience. You're really good at sounding out deals, I've noticed. You've got the best insurance fleet deal we've ever seen. So, and that all helps. And the main thing I've noticed is you fit into the mould of most of us here. You're a taxi company and you've got a nice sense of humour because we all like a laugh at Take Me, don't we?
Yeah, I think sometimes the world's a little politically correct, mad, and sometimes you just have to laugh because something is funny. And that's all there is to it.
That's disgusting. But yeah. No, I think humour and teamwork, it all comes part of that teamwork thing, doesn't it?
It does. There's some great people that I've met through you guys. And one of the big things, obviously, that you fully support is the Females in the Fleet initiative. I would never have met Rachel or Jodie without you guys. And that, to me, it's important. And we're doing things that can help other people. And I really enjoy that side of it.
Yeah. And for us as well, because, you've been particularly involved in that. And to see Jodie come out of her skin and get involved as well. And to spend time and see Rachel at AAA Taxis, who aren't connected to Take Me, but we do have quite a close relationship with them, and to see what she's doing down there, and that's all part of the thing, isn't it?
I think that's one of the differences between Take Me and some of the other people, that you don't want to steamroll over people, you want to work with people.
Absolutely. You were with me in Ride, and that was the attraction to Ride, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the fact that, it doesn't matter whether you've got 20 cars or 2,000 cars. We're all in
working
the game,
as a team.
Working as a team. And, we got to meet some great characters in that group, all fantastic people and learning off each other.
Yeah.
So that's really that mantra, that was what Take Me was born on, that foundation. to go on where Ride left off. So you're still on Ride, aren't you, at the moment?
We are still on Ride, yeah, and it is still a good app. It's just a shame that it couldn't work properly how it was supposed to, because it would have been absolutely brilliant.
I still rate Ride. I still think, I mean, look at some of the new apps now. I'm not so involved on the tech side of it. But I used to love Ride, the back end of it.
We've never had a problem with it. There's never been any downtime. It's reliable, it works, and the app. I've used other apps. When I go to other places, I tend to use apps because, like a lot of people nowadays, if you're somewhere strange, you Google it. So I do use apps if I go somewhere. And to be honest, the Ride app is one of the most easily negotiable for a customer.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was a shame that it didn't progress to what the original vision was, which of course was to have a national branding, an aggregator, But unfortunately, it was a learning curve for everyone. But what it did produce was, this proof that you can work together. Also produced a great app as well.
Yeah, so, the problem with cab companies, well, cab drivers in general, I think I've discussed it with you before, is they're always looking sideways. They always want to know what somebody else has done instead of looking forward and focusing, right, if we do this right and we do this better, we can be better. They're looking at Joe Bloggs saying, oh, well, he picked them up. Why didn't I get that job? And if you focus on what you need to do well, it shouldn't matter what anybody else does.
Absolutely, yeah. You can only be the best of what you can be rather than worrying about what they can do. But so moving forward, Lisa, what's happening with you guys, for the next 12 months, do you think?
Well, we are planning on expanding, obviously, as you know. I mean, we've got 1AB, the team at 1AB are absolutely brilliant up at Darlington. And we're hoping to expand up towards them so that we can bridge the gap between the North East and the beautiful Yorkshire.
Absolutely. And you've just gone for a rebrand, or in the middle of going through a rebrand as we record this.
I think we've got 1 or 2 cars left to do now. The sign's gone up and the cars are all redone, and it looks good. Yeah, it looks really good.
Excellent. Much feedback from people asking what Take Me is?
To be fair, it only went on yesterday. And our social medias haven't rebranded yet. I think Phil's on with doing that at the moment. I think that'll be when more people notice, because as you know now, not that many people actually walk into an office anymore. We're just lucky that we've got the station. So I think it'll be once the branding goes on the social media, then we'll get people asking questions then.
And of course, it's what's interesting to see is with taxi companies. So you can have a large taxi company in a city with hundreds of cars, and then you can have like a smaller, more community-focused taxi company like yours with less than 100 cars, let's say. But the profit per driver is higher with you in a small than it is in the city.
Yeah, I think we work tighter with link-ups and margins because we're in such a rural area and the distances are so big. We do try to make sure that if a car's going out somewhere, that car brings a job back from there rather than coming empty, or it'll sit there and wait for a job to come back from there because we know something will be coming up. Whereas in the city, a lot of the drivers, they're diving for every last pound because at times it's busy, but then, you'll get a lot of downtime where they're either sat on ranks or sat waiting for jobs. So they're diving for every last penny and they're maybe going 2 miles to do a £3 job, whereas we have better control over our vehicles. So we try to ensure that we maximise the mileage, etc. per car.
Yeah, and the other thing you don't have on your shoulders to worry about is these apps like Uber and Bolt, do you?
No, not yet. Not yet. There is a little bit of chatter in one of the groups that they're trying to come into North Yorkshire, but they're already here. They're just not licensed. I mean, they run in York all the time and they've been barred from there for ages. They run in Harrogate. They're not a massive threat in the rural area because it isn't of any interest to them.
No. And that's why a lot of taxi companies have been buying taxi companies outside of cities. If you go to Leicester, where we are, or Nottingham, where I'm based now, you look at the traditional legacy brands and they're all disappearing. In Nottingham, it used to be one brand you'd see everywhere, whereas now you don't see that brand at all. And I've seen similar in other big cities, whereas the dominant brands in towns like yours are still the dominant brand.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of operation, and it's a different kind of clientele as well.
Yeah, well, I think I've noticed when I've been dealing with some of the other companies, and this is no slight to the other companies at all, because you work differently in a city to a rural area.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more customer attention in a company like this, because we know the customers we're picking up. We know where Joe and Jenny and Jim are going to be at 10 o'clock every day. We know they're going to ring for that taxi. And we do like to have well, I don't say we'd like to have availability because we fill the slots, but we know those slots are going to be there. We know those people are going to be there. And we can say 10 minutes and we know it's going to be 10 minutes. Whereas when you've got a big city affair going on with maybe 10, 15 dispatchers, somebody will say 10 minutes, but 10 other dispatchers have already taken a job in that time. And it's then 25 minutes. So I think it's easier on a scale like ours to be more customer orientated.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you all the best for the next 12 months. And if anyone has any questions, then I have tagged Lisa on this post, so you'll be able to see Lisa's contact details by all means. Inbox her. She's very chatty, always loves a good chat. She's very nosy as well, so that's a good thing.
Very.
Lisa, I can see it's sun shining there. Get yourself into the garden, put your shades on. Have you got a pair of shades by any chance?
We have.
What a dudette. Have a great afternoon.
And you, David. See you later. Bye.